Okay, so hi, my name's Haines, and I'm going to teach you how to administer penicillin G sodium via a CIVA pump. So the first thing you're going to do is hand hygiene, and after that you're going to do your first check. So I'm just going to compare the medication that I have in my vial to my MAR here. So it's for Erica ear, so it's good. We're giving penicillin G sodium, and I have penicillin G sodium in my vial. She needs a 2.5 million unit dose, and I have a 5 million unit, or I have 5 million units in here, so I can get my 2.5 million dose from there. It's given IV, it says you can get IV in the vial, and as well as I'll confirm with the monograph. And it's given every 6 hours, so now is the right time to give it. And she has an allergy to shellfish, and the medication's not expired. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to check my drug monograph. So it's penicillin G sodium. It can be administered by a student nurse, so that means I can give it. The maximum single dose is 5 million units, so my dose is below that. And so now to reconstitute, I need to add 8.2 mLs of normal saline or sterile water to get a final volume of 10 mLs with a final concentration of 500,000 units per ml. So I'm going to go ahead and add 8.2 milliliters of normal saline. So I'm going to swab the top of my normal saline for 30 seconds, let dry for 15, and then swab the top of my medication for 30 seconds, let dry for 15. And then I'm just going to sterilely open my 10 ml syringe and attach my sterile blunt fill. And so now I'm just going to confirm one more time. I need 8.2 mLs of normal saline or sterile water. Either works, so I'm going to do normal saline. So I'm going to inject 8.2 mLs of air into the vial. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure to sterilely and carefully add my cap to my blunt fill. And then just making sure to get any bubbles out so that I know that I have the exact right concentration of medication. Okay, so I have 8.2 mLs of normal saline, 8.2 mLs of normal saline, and now since I've already swabbed the top of my medication vial and it hasn't left my site, I know that it's still sterile, so I'm going to go ahead and inject my 8.2 milliliters of normal saline into my vial. And then I'm just going to make sure to release the air so that the vial doesn't get a whole bunch of pressure in it. Okay, so I've done that. So now I'm just going to gently rotate the vial in my hands, making sure not to add any extra air bubbles to it. Okay, my medication's reconstituted, so that's good. So now I'm going to alcohol swab the top for 30 seconds, let dry for 15. And then I'm just going to confirm my calculations. So with the 8.2 mLs that I added, I got a final concentration of 500,000 units per milliliter. So since I need a 2.5 million unit dose, I'm going to draw up 5 mLs of my medication. So since I've already swabbed the top, I know that it's sterile. And I'm just going to inject 5 mLs of air and draw up my 5 mLs of medication. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure that I sterilely cap. And then I'm just going to hit out all of the bubbles to make sure that I have the exact right dose. Okay, so I have 5 mLs of my medication, 5 mLs of my medication, which equals 2.5 million units, which is my dose. So now I'm going to do my second check, which is comparing my label, my syringe, my vial, and my MAR. So this drug is for Erica ear, so that's good. She needs penicillin G sodium. I have penicillin G sodium in my vial, as well as I've written that on my label. She needs 2.5 million units. So I have 2.5 million units in my syringe here, as I created a concentration of 500,000 units per ml, and I drew up 5 mLs. I'm just going to double check. Okay, 5 mLs, that's good. It can be given IV. I've referred to the vial as well as the monograph to make sure that is okay, and it is. And it's due every 6 hours, so now is the right time to give it. and the medication's not expired, and my patient is allergic to shellfish, so I'm just going to be conscious of that. So now that I have my medication prepared, I'm going to go ahead and further dilute it. So as per the monograph states, I need to dilute, I have a 2.5 million unit dose, so I need to dilute up to 25 mLs in my 30 ml syringe, which means I need to do 20 mLs of normal saline with 5 mLs of my medication. So I'm going to draw up 20 mLs of normal saline into my 30 ml syringe. So okay, so I'm just going to alcohol swab the top of both of these vials. So swab for 30 seconds, let dry for 15. And my clean alcohol swab, swab for 30 seconds, let dry for 15. So both of the tops of these are sterile. And now I'm just going to sterilely open up my 30 ml syringe. Okay, that's good. And then I'm going to grab my other blunt fill and attach that. Okay. So now I'm going to draw up my 20 mLs of normal saline. Okay, and now since I didn't touch the top of this one and I know that it's still sterile, I'm going to draw up my other 10 ml from my second vial. Okay. Now I'm just going to carefully and sterilely recap my syringe. And I'm going to make sure there's no air bubbles so that I know that I have diluted it properly. Okay, so I have my 20 mLs of normal saline, 20 mLs of normal saline. So now that I have that, I'm just going to go ahead and add my medication to my normal saline. So I'm going to take off my blunt fill and throw it in the sharps, and then I'm just going to make sure to carefully insert my medication into my syringe. Okay, that's good. I'm just going to be careful to recap my syringe and throw it in the sharps. Okay, and now I'm going to take my blue cap and just put it on the top of my syringe so that I know that it is sterile. Okay, so now that I've prepared my medication, I'm going to add my label to it. This label doesn't have a sticky part.
I'll obviously get a new tubing just because I just touched it. So for my third trick, I have
okay, so I'm just going to stick my label on a part where I can still see the graduations of my syringe. So I have my label there. And then other than that, I'm just going to go grab my supplies and head to the bedside. So I need to grab my medication, I need to grab my MAR, I need to grab my tubing, and then I also need to grab some alcohol swabs. So I'm going to go up to the patient. Hi there, Miss Ear. My name is Anne. I'm here to give you your penicillin G sodium, which is an antibiotic to help treat the cellulitis in your left arm. So a couple side effects that you might want to be aware of is you might get nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. If you have any of those, just let me know. Otherwise, if you have no concerns, I'm just going to go ahead and do my third med check. So could you tell me your full name, please? Perfect. And your birthday? Okay. Do you have any allergies at all? Shellfish? Okay. That's also what it says on her band, so that's good. So now I'm just going to go back and do the rest of my third med check. So we have penicillin G sodium. My label says penicillin G sodium. We need 2.5 million units, and I have 2.5 million units. It's given IV. I've verified with my vial as well as my monograph. I can give an IV, and it's due every 6 hours, so now is the right time to give it. So now that I've done my third check, I'm going to go ahead and set up my medication for my patient. So I'm just going to be careful to untangle all of my tubing. There's caps on the ends, so I know that they're sterile. Okay, so now I'm going to take the end and attach it to my syringe. I just touched the top of that. In real life, I would get new tubing, but for the purpose of demo, I'm not going to. And then I'm just going to sterilely attach the top of my syringe to my tubing. And then I am going to prime my tubing until I see a bleb. Okay, I see a bleb there, so that's good. So now I am going to alcohol swab the port after the Baxter pump, and the reason being is that I want my patient to get her medication regulated by the CIVA pump and not the Baxter pump. So I'm going to swab for 30 seconds, let dry for 15, and then I'm just going to sterilely attach the end of my tubing to the port. So that's good. So now I'm going to go ahead and hang up my medication. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that the black piece is down right flush with the top of my plunger. I'm going to start it at a normal speed. It's flashing green, so that means that I know that it's going. Or it was. Okay, it's flashing green, so I know that it's going. Other than that, I'm just going to do my exit safety check. So, Miss Ear, I'm going to be back in a little bit to check on you and make sure that's the lowest position possible, call those within reach. Just give me a call if you need anything at all. Otherwise, I'm going to leave the room, document that I gave us on my MAR with the time, the initials, and my designation, as well as just noting to make sure that I come back when my medication is done being administered so that I can add my 3 ml normal saline flush to make sure that all the medication goes into my patient. And then I'm done.